Ladies and gamers, welcome to BelleNOiRtv. And also, welcome to Cast My Game episode number 1. Yeah. So, I'm very glad that you could make it. Right from the get-go, I will say I have received a decent number of submissions for games to be casted. Most of them, like 99% of those games, were of Master versus Master. There were some games, one or two, where we had diamond level players facing off each other, and I received one game from Kuwait, of all things, that was Platinum versus Gold, by a guy that claims he's as good as Marine King Prime and he can play the same styles. I'll let you ponder that for a second, so that you get an idea of how some people are actually lacking the ability to criticize themselves. The link for the submission page, there is no link for a submission page. There is just a Reddit thread. I will post the link in the chat. There you go. There are all the instructions are there, so you can just follow that one. You know my email, and of course, even if you care, if you're watching from Twitch and you care to scroll down to the stream description, you will actually see under the events and scheduling, you will see the Cast My Game event, and there is a short, like, the brunt of it, of what you need to do if you want to get your game casted. I have picked 4 games for today. I have tried to pick games that were, a good amount of solid play, a good amount of craziness, and also a variety of matchups, so that we don't watch Protoss matchups all evening, or Zerg matchups all evening, or Terran matchups all evening. So I have picked 4 games. The players that submitted the replays have been notified. I'm not going to tell you who actually sent me the replays, um, so that we don't spoil anything. I will tell you at the end, though. Oh gosh, I now realize that I forgot to check if there were any shoutout requests in the emails. I'll have to do that at some point um, during during the show today. So that's for starters. Second thing, thank you for showing up. So I already thanked you for submitting the replays. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for any retweets or for telling your friends or whatever you did to support this. I'm really hoping this will get a little bit of traction. So I'll be doing this most days of the working week, except Wednesday, when I have a regular cast for SCV Rush Gold Platinum tournament. So I can't do the Cast My Game, but I definitely should be doing Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Most probably Thursdays as well, but that's cutting it a little bit close because I'm working that day and I come home really, really late. So I'd have like 20 minutes to set up the cast and just go, go, go cast, and then I'm so hungry I haven't eaten for 6 hours. Yeah, that's life for you. Monster as well. Okay, so let's see. Um, Let us jump into the first game. I just have to find it somewhere in here. Coaching, Whitra, no, here we are. Episode number 1. So I'm thinking of starting a little bit with easier games and then progressing gradually towards more rewarding games. So let us start with a PvZ on Korhol City. This will be Evil versus Moscow the Bear. The game length is just about 24 minutes, still bearable. If it's As long as it's around 20 minutes, I don't mind. Just as a side note, guys, when I thought about this, I was like, man, if I tell people to bring me 30-minute games, they will start submitting 40-minute ones. And that might be a little too much. I did not want to start with too long of a games because that would make a boring cast. And I wanted to get as many games as possible during the time I have allotted to this, which is approximately 1 hour of game time, which equals roughly about 70 minutes of broadcast time. Um, but if we get a lot of viewers during these events, or if we get a lot of games, more likely, I might change my take on this and lift the restrictions somewhat, because we all know that like under 20 minutes you most likely have two base all-ins, right? That doesn't make for very good games. Maybe PvPs or something, but the better games usually last between 30-40 minutes. And of course, I am looking for feedback, so it is very good of you to tune in today. And if you have any feedback for me regarding the event, for example, if you want to see more games, or if you want to see longer games, or shorter games, or I don't know, whatever, you can send it to, you can tweet it at me at my Twitter at BelleNOiRtv, or you can, if you're on Facebook, if you're a Facebook user, you can post on my wall on Facebook/BelleNOiRtv, or you can just send me an email to bellenoir@cesnam.cz. The email address is below, and you can also see it on your screen right now, right below where my face is. So I think that's all I wanted to say. I'll have a couple more info during the games for you guys, but right now let's just jump into the first game here. So as I said, it is going to be Evil, a Grandmaster level Zerg, versus Moscow the Bear, a Master level Protoss. The map is going to be Coral City, and I really hope that you do enjoy this one. As we jump into the game, we see that we do have the Red Zerg, the Grandmaster player Evil, spawning at the 9 o'clock, wearing red colors. And his opponent is going to be Moscow the Bear, the blue Protoss, spawning here at the 6 o'clock. So decently close locations on this map, and we are seeing that Evil is sending his Overlord to the top first. And I wouldn't be surprised if he drone scouted on this map, since it is a 4-player map, and since you have an in-base expansion over here, you would likely want to find out where your opponent's location is before he makes a full wall off here, because if he does, that way you can't actually tell how soon his expansion was going down. Especially if you scout him at the last possible spot. For example, let's see, if you were to drone scout here and then go to here and then go to here, he might already have gone Nexus first and have a full wall off with like the cannon finishing. He could actually deny you entry if he wanted to. It really takes quite a long time for drones to go around, but we do see that Evil is not opting to do that, and he is going to be going for a hatchery first, while we are seeing Forge first from the Protoss player. This is a very safe opening. I mean, it is really tempting to go with Nexus first on this map, since you do have it in base. But it also is really dangerous, being a 4-player map versus stuff like 8 pools, 7 pools, even 6 pools, and 10 pools also in these close positions might be very, very, very dangerous. And Evil going for the gas straight up, and we'll be building a pool. There we go. So going for the gas first and pool afterwards definitely suggests he either wants to put on pressure really fast, or more likely he wants to get he wants to have a very fast link speed just to be able to defend everything. Queens are not going to be as important on this map early on, as long as he wants to stay on 2 base for a little while longer than is the current standard. Just because you don't need that much creep. You know, the 3rd base is long ways off. Of course, you could make a lot of queens, similarly to what E.G. Stefano is doing, or has been doing lately. Ooh, what's this? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! We have a cannon rush, and it has been seen, but Evil did not respond to this in time. He's not even producing Zerglings. I think he's just going to sacrifice this hatch, making only 2 Zerglings, which is, you know, he could have made more. Let's see. Yeah, he does have the larva, he does have the supply, and he definitely has the money, but I think he just decided to let this hatchery go. He was like, well, the first cannon is already up. That would be really cost inefficient for me to go there and try to save it. So instead, he opts to build a couple more queens. Those are going to become really, really handy for him. This hatch definitely will go down. Probably a cancel on this cannon will be seen. No! Lets that one finish. Really wants to be sure that that hatch goes down. And meanwhile, the probe is going around the map and trying to scout for a possible other hatch. And we do see a baneling nest going down. So I see what Evil is doing here. He's like, well, okay. There are 2 pylons and 3 cannons. You just invested a heck of a lot into this. And I'm just going to baneling bust you. Because you have delayed your, most probably, unless you did not build a Nexus yet, you delayed your gateway, therefore delaying your cyber core, and therefore delaying your sentries. And he is just going to confirm this. He sees the gateway, does not know if the cyber core is already up, has no knowledge of gases, did not scout his opponent's base. And you see, this is the thing I talked about at the beginning. You always want to drone scout on 4-player maps, unless you are feeling really, really confident that you are able to hold off any kind of anything that will be thrown your way. Well, this Zealot is really unlucky. Down it goes. Don't think it even got 1 kill. First banelings. Oh my god, that's a lot of banelings. We have 12 banelings morphing in. That's more than enough to take down this front, especially without any sentries. Might want to fix that rally, Moscow. If that sentry pops up on the wrong side, and oh my god, I know he's like, oh no, oh shit, and the front goes down. There's still 1 pylon remaining, but that goes down. Everything is unpowered. There's a little bit of a wall here, and Evo microing there a little bit. Should have gone around the wall, but no. Okay, he's doing it now, but just wasted 2 or 3 bailings there. Needlessly, he will get a lot of probe kills though, because there are no units apart from the mothership core to take care of this, and the mothership core is really, really, really slow now. Meanwhile, we do see Evil taking a hatch over here. These cannons are still up, so Moscow knows that there is no hatch there. And is there any kind of follow-up to this? We see another gas has been taken, and Evil is slowly but gradually saturating it. What's the drone count looking like as the lings are being cleaned up? Well, you know, the Zerg is actually a little bit ahead, but after this has been cleared up, conversely, the Protoss is not that far behind. And considering the Zerg is just now getting his second hatch, the Protoss is actually in a very good shape here, and I think Evil feels that that Baneling bust did not quite do what he wanted it to do, or needed it to do, so he's getting a very quick clear. We'll have to see if he wants to go with quick Mutalisks, quick Hydras, maybe 2 base Swarm Hosts. All of those are options, but considering his very low drone count, if he wants to be going Hydras or Mutas, he would have to pump a lot of drones to you know, to have that stockpile of money you need if you want to build 10 or so Mutas when the Spire finishes. So let's see what will be going out. Infestation Pit, alright, okay. So I'm feeling Swarm Hosts right now, because really, given the situation, it can't be anything else. All he has, all he's capable of producing are Zerglings and Banelings. Of course, Infestors would be a nice addition to that composition as well. Lock down the enemy forces, prevent them from microing. Wow, that was a very nice scout by the probe. And well, we have a proxy pylon that was built without any problems, and now the creep spread. This is going to be really really pivotal in defending any ground aggression that might be coming Evil's way. Keep in mind though, guys, we also have 2 pylons still there, so you know, if Moscow somehow forces Evil to take an engagement right here, nice force field there, trying to trap some of the drones, but more importantly did trap the Queen. first swarm hosts are in production and without any detection. This is going to deter Moscow from any further aggression, and he's putting down a Stargate. We don't have a robo down, so now it goes down as he sees the swarm host's very nice reaction there. But one swarm host, that's not going to be enough to save this hatchery. Nice recall there. Oh, okay, not that nice of a recall for getting 2 Zealots behind. We are not Marines. We leave units behind, dudes. We just don't care. Alright, so swarm hosts it is, and as a reaction to that we see the robo facility, as I already have mentioned, and void rays, because there are no hydras out. And here's the in-base warping. I wanted to see a lot sooner, getting rid of the bailing, but I don't think those zealots will kill very many probes. They do get 1, 2, not that many. And you know, now the I think with these swarm hosts he'll be able to. I mean, he's not losing money by doing this. It's just free units, so it is going to take him a lot of time to get rid of those cannons, but he will be able to do so slowly, and then retake the space. Now the crucial point here for Evil is he lost 2 hatches. He never was on a 2-base economy at any point in this game, basically. While Moscow, he's been on 2 Nexi the majority of time. Yeah, it is true he lost 17 probes, you know, at the start, but he had the Nexus the whole time. And while the Zerg was just building his hatchery over here, he already was double pumping probes. Oh, whoa! And seeing that there is no real army to speak of, Moscow does what? Moscow takes a 3rd expansion here. Already has the Observer. He knows there is no anti-air apart from Queens, which are really slow and can be taken care of just with the help of ground army. So he's not fearing this at all. As long as he can get rid of the swarm hosts. There goes 1 down. He'll be totally fine. Nice transfusions going off on one of those, but leaving the second one to die. Let's see if those void rays actually survive. Nice micro here by Moscow. Transfusions going down, and you know, versus transfusions, those void rays have to pull back, especially since I'm a little bit wondering why they have not activated their prismatic alignment ability, because the queens are armored, as far as I know. Oh, well, again, they're not. My mistake, sorry. Okay, so this is still a manageable number of swarm hosts for Moscow to deal with, but he will need Colossi very shortly here. Because those locusts will start to eat away at that wall eventually. He's using force fields so far to hold them off, but you know, with very few units, Evil is doing quite a lot, and he just keeps pumping out queens to protect those swarm hosts. But he's not pumping out any drones. He's not making any, and he's not retaking this hatchery, which really he should be doing. His money is starting to climb quite a lot now. The Protoss is not macroing neither, but considering that, you know, he can't really saturate the space, it's understandable, to be honest, because this base is going to mine out soon, and you just don't want to overbuild gateways and then not have enough money to produce out of them. He really wants to saturate the 3rd base, of which, by the way, Evil has no idea that it's down. He really should build that 3rd hatch and pump some more drones. Hydro is then just now finishing to help reinforce the forward position he's got here. And, well, first Colossi will start coming out right now. And once you have like 1 or 2 Colossi with these void rays, these forces basically are forfeit. And there is no retreat for them, especially not for the queens, since they are so slow. But Evil just decided that, well, I'm going to just keep producing swarm hosts. I'm going to keep producing Hydralisks. And, well, we have 1 probe here trying to reinforce that 3rd base, but still can't transfer anything because of the locusts and the swarm hosts here. But he's doing a very good job defending. I want to point something out though in this game. We have 0 upgrades. We have 0. I mean, we have +1 attack. That's like you get that upgrade, right? You always get that upgrade as a Protoss. But other than that, we have 0 upgrades for both of these players actually. So now that Colossi are out on the field, a wise decision by Evil would be just to pull back, because once the second one or even a third one comes out, he can't hope to hold this position with Swarm Hosts, Hydralisks, and Queens, which, you know, both the Hydras and the Swarm Hosts are kind of vulnerable to Colossi fire. And it's still not a critical amount of Swarm Hosts, so that the Protoss would not be able to deal with the Locusts in an efficient manner. And the Thermal Lance is just about to be done, and this is the time where Moscow thinks to himself, hey, time to push out. But he needs to attack when there are no Locusts spawning. Let's see the cooldown on these. Yeah, he needs to sync up his attack with the cooldown on the Swarm Hosts to make it to make the best out of the situation. We have a Spire going down for the Zerg in the meantime, so probably he wants to be building some Corruptors to deal with the Void Rays. You know, had he built that third base a little bit sooner, he would have enough gas to do a huge Muta switch right now. And that would probably decimate the Protoss army, because Mutalisks in large numbers, believe it or not, can handle Void Rays just fine. And there's just no anti-air, no other anti-air here, which means you can kill the Colossi just as well. And, well, Moscow proceeds to push this back. He just gotten rid of all the Locusts, which means he can kill the Swarm Hosts quite well. And this makes Evil push back. He takes the first opportunity he gets to retreat. And, well, just now taking the third base, but it's already a little bit too late. He's still only on 42 drones. He's trying to make some Mutalisks, but let me see the number of gateways here. We are on 7 gateways for the Protoss, and he does have a Stargate. And a lot of bank, because he's been on a higher number of Harvesters, and he's been on 3 bases this whole time. So, as I said, if he took that base a little bit quicker before the Protoss forces, you know, the composition adjusted to what Evil was doing, he would have been in a much better shape. But as it is, he will have to... I don't honestly know what he will have to do. He will need a miracle. Even saturating these gases in preference of saturating the minerals would be wise. So, you know, he's got a token number of Mutas, a really puny number. He's trying to make as many as he can. We have 5 Void Rays with this army, 4 Colossi, and a contingent of Zealots as the Mutalisks are making their way to the third base. And there are no cannons here near the mineral line, so they will be able to kill quite a few workers. Look at the probe kill count, 30 and rising. But you know, the probes have been pulled away, and the Mutas can't really approach those 2 cannons. There's not that many of those Mutas, and that would really not be cost efficient. So he's trying to do what he can, limiting the number of gas that the Protoss can mine, and still relying on the Locusts to keep him safe for a little while longer. But still not pumping any drones and getting himself supply blocked. Look at this. Still 43 drones. I'm really surprised that he's not getting more drones. I mean, it's, what, 1 production cycle and he'd be saturated on 3 bases. And then he would be in a much better position than he is now. And most importantly, he would have the income to match the production he's capable of outputting. Right, so Mira's trying to dart in yet again and finding out that there is nothing they can do about that third base. And also Evil sees the Protoss army advancing, so he needs to pull back. Swarmos needs to find a little bit of a better position. And honestly, with 7 Void Rays here and a lot of Stalkers, there's just not enough Mutas to deal with this. Let us see, 13 Mutas versus 13 Stalkers. That's not a situation you want to be in, especially when there are 7 Void Rays and 2 Phoenixes backing those up. And I fear we'll probably see a GG very, very soon. 4th base was attempted, but a little bit too late for that now. And well, there we go. Evil just leaves the game straight up. So that was a little bit of a crazy game, but as Ellie Goulding sings, anything can happen, especially when you can rush a hatch firsting Zerg. So I hope you guys liked it. Lag. Let me try to check if I dropped any frames. Well, I dropped 1 frame, probably when my camera turned on. So chances are the issue is on your side of things. Nothing I can do from my end, so I apologize. Anyways, hope you guys are enjoying. I will just take a brief sip of my monster here. I don't know if you've noticed, but I quite suck at solo casting. I'm much better in a duo. Anyways, for those of you that have just tuned in, you are watching Cast My Game episode number 1. This is a pilot, a piloted episode basically of a new content I'm trying out, where you guys send me 1v1 games that are of master versus master level players. Any matchup goes, any event goes. It may be from ladder, it may be from your practice, in-house tournaments, if you have a team, WCS qualifiers, whatever. You know, as long as it's 1v1, and as long as both of those guys that are playing are master level, it's all good. So far, I'm looking for games that are approximately 20 minutes long. I may tweak that around. Again, if you have any suggestions or feedback after this first episode is over, please do post them either on Twitch, BelleNOiRtv, or on Facebook /BelleNOiRtv, or just email them at me. The email address is below the stream if you're watching from Twitch. It's bellenoir@cesnam.cz. And please do be concise in your comments. Just, you know, keep it to the point. I really don't want to be like browsing through tons and tons of trash, so to speak, in the emails. So let us see the second game. Second game we are going to be casting today. So I don't know if Evil is watching actually, or Moscow. I think, wait a minute, I think Moscow has a stream, so let me do a proper shout out once I find out. Once I find out, where do we have you? Where do we have you? I have to find his email. Oh, okay, alright, here we have. So, the Protoss player you saw playing, he is currently ranked #1 Master Protoss, and his stream link is right here in the chat. If you wish to check that out, it's twitch.tv/Mosconia. If you want to check out his stream, please be my guest. I'm very grateful that he supplied his replay for me to cast. So, all right, let's go into another PvZ. This time, this will be on a Whirlwind, and it is going to be Balthazar versus Ivan. Okay, so here we are on Whirlwind, and we have Clan X's Balthazar, the red Protoss, spawning at the top right. And in the top left, we do have 3 M's, Ivan, or Evan. I'm just going to call him Evan. Ivan sounds a little bit Russian. Hey, Ivan, hand me that bottle of vodka, would you? And I'm pretty sure this guy is not from Russia nor Ukraine or any kind of similar country. And we already have a little bit of a banter going down, so probably these guys know each other quite well. Let me just check if I switched the overlay. Yes, I did. And, well, this, we have a pylon here on the low ground. We have a probe scout going out. Very good idea to scout with a probe on this map. Since, you know, the same rule applies as on Core City. It's a it's a 4-spawn map, so in Zerg matchups you definitely want to find your opponent's location as fast as possible. So we have a normal 15 pool going down. It is going to be a pool first, probably followed by a hatchery right here. The Overlord is already there to spot for any possible... Wait a second, we have a double gate opening, no nexus going down, just double gates, and so far this goes unscouted. We do have a drone scout coming out, but judging by the direction, the drone scout probably is going to go here. Yes, it is waypointed there, and then it is waypointed to the bottom right. So, oh my god, Evan is going to find out way too late about the opening of his opponent here. The spawning pool is finished though, so it all comes down to how early will he see the Zealots. And, well, Balthazar even knows which way he should be sending the Zealots to. He saved up quite a lot of chrono boost, which means, you know, the number of his probes is a little bit lower. I wonder if Evan will catch on to the fact just by counting the probes, but most probably not. Doesn't even check. Goes immediately to the expansion to check for the Nexus, and the first couple of Zealots are already on the way. The probe is still here, trying to see if there are Zerglings being made. Well, we do have drones, and this is not good for Evan. The hatchery is under attack by a probe. That's not going to scare him, but this Zealot is. This Zealot is going to scare him. He's like, wait a minute. If you went for a Forge expand, your Zealot should just be popping out. How the hell did he get all the way here? And now he sees why. There are 2 gates and the core just now going down. The core is not delayed by any substantial amount, mind you, so the pace at which Balthazar will be teching will still be comparable to a normal Forge opening, a Forge fast expand. But he will get this hatch. And that's the most important part. As a response to this, we see the link speed going down immediately, gas being taken, and Roach Warren being put down. So, you know what every Zerg does. When you do something like this to him, the Zerg goes, well, time to all in. And we did have a spawn crawler there being put down, but, you know, just in case that Balthazar decides to push up with those Zealots. But he decided not to. Oh, those larvae could have been something, but now they will be absolutely nothing. I always look for details like these because it really shows, you know, the awareness level of the player. Most of the time, Zergs just select their hatch like this, and, you know, select drones and build whatever. But when you lose a hatch like this, better Zergs tend to select the larvae here and use them immediately as long as there are no enemy forces around, because, you know, it's a waste of larvae. And you're down to 1 hatchery, so you might as well use every available larva to you. And we already have the first couple of speedlings, soon to be speedlings in a couple of seconds. 6 seconds to go. And Roach is trying to barrel down this ramp, but look at this. We have 2 cannons here, we have 4 Zealots. No sentries, that is true, no sentries, but he can make 2 really quickly here. Let's see the number of chrono boosts. Well, he's chrono boosting into his Nexi, very, very much so. So, you know, he's not going to be able to chrono boost sentries, but sentries do take actually quite a low time to build compared to Stalkers. So they are going to be going out. This Zealot will hold the choke for now. And, well, might have gotten the pylon if those Zealots stayed back, but I think Balthazar probably played this build quite a lot. It certainly is a interesting opening, but a quite risky one as well. And now with those sentries, basically, the Zerg is not able to do anything at this point. His only chance at aggression at this point in time, even faking another cannon rush. Oh my god, Balthazar, you dude. You dude. Of course, this is going to be denied and, well, not even cancelled, but doesn't matter anyway. If we look at resources lost, we see that the Zerg is miles behind. 36 probes versus 26 drones, and you know, honestly, if I were in the Zerg's shoes right now, I would say Nidus time, and I would just try to build a Nidus as fast as possible, but that's going to take some time, at least 2 minutes before that one is ready, as the lair just now started, and you have to account for the Nidus building time in base, the Nidus building time here, and but still, I think it might be worth it. Might be. It would come, you know, at a way later time than you would ideally want to, and that is, you know, after Warp Gate is finished. And we have a Stargate follow-up to this. We'll be getting Void Rays. That's a good option. I really like that. He saw roaches. So, you know, Protoss knows that some of the gas probably went into that. That's going to slow down your lair. It's going to slow down any additional upgrades, any other stuff like Hydras or Mutas, Infestors, Swarm Hosts, any of the sort. Let's check the chat a little bit. Well, I've been streaming for 3 years and no one has had problem with 720. The problem is that unless you're a partner, you're not getting preferential treatment on Twitch TV servers. So, for example, if you're watching other streamers, of course their streams are not lagging because Twitch gives them priority on their servers, give them more bandwidth. So, and it might also be the distance. Like if you're watching from NA or you know, from overseas or somewhere not in Europe, you will definitely get lags just because of the distance. I also get lags sometimes from North American streams. Anyways, so one Void Ray, one Phoenix, just to, you know, show this to the Zerg basically, and then transitioning into double Robo Colossi straight up. Getting 2 observers first up. Oh, you're from Austria. Guten Abend. This is just, you know, manipulating your opponent. I will show you my Stargate tech, and you will probably go Hydras. So I'm going to switch into Mass Colossi mode, and it is true that we have the Hydrogen down, but only 3 Hydras have been built, because Evan has not seen any further Void Rays out on the field. But, that being said, we are seeing air weapons level 1 being researched. So, you know, this is... I think Balthazar is just... Honestly, he's just keeping his options open. Oh, and I really like this pathogen glands going down. You know, just in case the Protoss switches into mass air, I'll have the ability to have infestors with fungals ready, and going to Hive in the meantime, probably to be able to continue to upgrade his ground army to +3/+3. I really like the positioning of Balthazar's units right here. He's keeping an eye on all the important chokes. And also he will be able to get a glimpse of the army from time to time that Evan has right here. Second Forge just now finished, so he'll be able to double upgrade his ground army, which I really like considering his upgrades are late because he invested into two robotic facilities. And we have had a third base, a ninja base going up in the meantime while all this was going on, and you know, to Evan's great sadness, he does not have spotting there. He's just now sending over some Zerglings, and he does see these probes getting transferred, so he probably knows something is amiss. Will he find out what? Zergling probably will, but it will get shut down by cannons. Bam! Double strike. And the Zergling goes down, but now, you know, he knows that there's a base. So maybe he thought, hey, the game is probably even. I'm on 3 bases. Protoss is on 2 bases. You know, it's okay if I can defend his incoming push, then I'll be fine. But suddenly things change for him because we are on 3 base Protoss versus 3 base Zerg, and that is not good. Now, considering Evan already has the hive tech up, is not really continuing his upgrades yet, which really he should be. He's just waiting. There we go. He's just waiting for the 300 gas to stockpile. He really needs to take another base, and most probably the base is, yes, the base is going to be here. You always want to expand further away from your opponent as a Zerg. And we have the Spire finishing up as well. Still a heavily Colossus-based army, and these kind of armies, you know, they rely on a very good force field usage. When you run out of force fields, this army can get very easily surrounded by a swarm of Roach Hydra or just Ling Roach. And it can nibble at you. It can eat you up alive. You really need to manage the way in which the Zerg army is able to engage. And speaking of force fields, holy crap! Look at that perfect circle zoning out everything. Even the range 6 Hydras, yes they are. They do have grooved spines. And I have to also say that Evan is doing the best he can. He's trying to flank whenever possible. He's coming from the left side, getting rid of all the ground army, the sentries and the stalkers and the zealots as well. All that remains are 3 colossi. He needs to kite with those colossi, otherwise they will go down. The Hydras do have muscular augments researched, so they are quite fast even off creep, but it looks like Evan is giving him a little bit of a breather and he's letting him go. Really uncharacteristic. For a Zerg, not to snipe 3 lonely Colossi. You know, that would have been a huge pickup. But right now, he just... Oh, there's the oh my god! Okay, Evan is probably saying to himself, no, 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 back away. Back away, guys. I don't really want to engage this, and he should leave a couple of roaches behind. Just to allow his Hydras to escape, because those are the DPSers of his army. He really does not wish for them to die. And the Protoss is still making Void Rays notice that there are 0 Stalkers with this army, 0 Sentries with this army, so Balthazar is just going to be relying on brute force. He also has another base up as well as Evan. The Harvester counts are 64 for Protoss and 84 for Zerg, so a little bit of a lower econ game. Considering the number of bases. But we have 2 Stargates, the second one just going down Fleet Beacon to continue the upgrades, probably only going to be focusing on attack. And I feel like Evan is just gunning for this hidden base here, and also wants to make sure that this base is not up yet. So if he gets that down, you know, that will put him at a slight advantage. Both of these players are getting really close to be maxed, so it's all about the composition of units at this point. We have Storm finishing in a little while, and double Warp Prisms being made. Do we have the speed for the Warp Prisms? Yes, we do. And I wonder where those Warp Prisms will be going. They're going different directions, every single one. And what is this? We see Evan pulling back, because he did see with the Watchtower that the Protoss army is on the move, and this is not a good engagement for him, or didn't look like it. Look at the flanking from all the sides. The Colossi are getting surrounded, but there's just too many of them. But with no anti-air, these Corruptors are doing a number of those, and even taking out the Void Ray. Evan, what a good engagement for you, man. And suddenly Balthazar is in dire straits, but he does have quite a number of production facilities. He's got 2 robos, he's got 2 Stargates, he's got a number of Warp Gates, so he can reinforce quite fast, but, well, not fast enough, it seems, and he's forced to GG out. If we look at the resources lost, yeah, all of this was accumulated during the final battle, it seems like. So, very well played by Evan, who was put in a very precarious situation from the start, but managed to make the best of it, and pulled out a win in the end. Davithor, you can just go below the stream and read the description. The instructions are all there, so please do go on ahead. Okay, I have a question for you guys. Since we did receive some complaints about lags, I have a question for you. Which one of you is getting lags, like serious lags, making the stream almost unwatchable? Please do type 1 into the stream chat right now. Because I would like to know. Usually my stream does not lag at all. Big Boss Bernhard has got lag, but most of the guys have 0 lags. Can I ask you, Big Boss Bernhard, what's your download? Because I'm streaming at 2000 kilobits per second, so it might be that. Even though it's a pretty low bitrate to stream at with this resolution, you pretty much don't want to go lower. Then the stream would be really blurry. I don't want that. Oh, come on, I forgot. By the way, guys, this is like, I know this sounds really arrogant, but I forgot he's a cool guy. Give him a chance. He's a regular on the stream. So we have 2 more games to go. We'll be going into a PvP next. I'm sorry for all the Protoss matchups today, but like I said, I tried to mix Terran in there, tried to mix Zerg in there, so we'll have PvP up next. A very good game, I have to say. And then we'll be finishing up with Matsur versus QXC. This is a game from the WCS qualifiers, the recent tournament that IEM held, and QXC, for some reason, played in Europe, I think. So I would like to take this opportunity once again to thank you for tuning in and to put your attention a little bit of something. On this stream, we run a fan-based $100 prize pool tournament once a month. If you go, once again, if you check the stream description on Twitch below the streaming window, you can read all about it. There is also a link to my YouTube playlist for the Followers Tournament number 5. You can also, that's the latest one I think that I uploaded. I still have to edit the number 6 and number 7 that have been played in Heart of the Swarm. Number 5 is still from Wings of Liberty, but main thing is, it is a 16-player tournament, best of 3 single elimination bracket with best of 5 finals and a 3rd place match. $100 to give away among all 16 participants. The first place prize being $32, second place taking 16, third place 8, and all the rest, 4th to 16th, taking $4 consolation prize. And we are going to be making an announcement for the following for the upcoming tournament, which is going to be Followers Tournament number 9. Very shortly. So if you would like to play, usually it is mostly master level, couple of grandmasters in there. If you would like to compete, just follow either of my 2 social sites, the Facebook or the Twitter, and that way you won't miss any announcements. We'll be announcing this sometimes during this week. So like I said, if you want to compete, follow the social channels, either one. I'll leave it up to you, whichever you prefer, and we'll be making an announcement this week. Alright, let's go into the 3rd game here. It is going to be a PvP on Aquilon Wastes, Tenotal versus Zaz. As far as I know, this is a game from a in-house team practice. Okay, here we go. Having the overlay up, good. And in the bottom, we have the yellow Protoss Tenotal. Tenotal has been doing quite well recently, managed to advance to the round of 32 in the first WCS qualifiers. beating some very good players along the way. Zaz is a old-timer, a guy that has a lot of experience, and both of these guys are from the clan We Want to Win, or We Wanna Win. That's why you have the W3C as We Wanna Win clan. Hey there, Captain Obvious. And he's spawning as a yellow Paras in the top left. So let us see what these players will be up to. Recently, PvP has been quite interesting. You know, different kinds of openings, different gas timings, different gas saturations, and all of that, of course, plays a role in how you play. So we have a 12 gate coming down for Tenotal, 13 gate. Well, actually, I think they're both 13 gates. Just Tenotal putting his down a second sooner than Zaz, and scouting out his base for any proxies. And then he'll probably just be going back with this probe, as not to lose too much of a mining time. Zaz, he's not even bothering to scout his base. Look at this. This is all black. This is all black. He's just going straight up after the gateway, scouting out his opponent, and well, he's opening up with a very quick double gas. What looks to be like a 15-15 gas or 15-16 gas. And putting 2 drones on each. Now this can be a variety of things. It can be a 2-gate expansion with a mothership core. It can be a 1-gate Stargate. It can be Blink. It can be all manner of things. It can even be an aggressive 3-gate. And meanwhile, we see Tenotal getting 3 guys on the gas straight up, skipping the Zealot so he can get a second assimilator straight up, getting only 2 guys into that, and building a second gateway. This is an opening I prefer myself as well. It's decently safe and gives you a reasonably fast tech. And meanwhile, Tenotal is absolutely aware of the core timing of Zaz, and just by the timing of this core, even if he has not clicked on the assimilators, to see how much gas has been mined, he has got to know that these gases were taken both at the same time. And he did see that right now we have 3 probes in each. So he's got to know that heavy tech will be incoming, and well, pylons in the back. No pylon here for Tenotal. He's going to check with a Stalker though, and getting more Stalkers even. His Chrono Boost usage is... he's saving up a lot of Chrono Boost, so... you know, this can mean 2 things. Either you are saving Chrono Boost for an emergency case scenario, such as when you need to Chrono Boost out a lot of Stalkers quickly, or speed up your Warp Gate, or get a very quick sentry, something like that. Or it can be for tech. And we have a 3rd gateway going down, so Tenotal really wanting to be aggressive. Zaz is hiding his probe here for maybe a later rescout. That's very smart. You just have to pick the exact perfect time to rescout your opponent, and he is getting a Twilight Council first. Oh my... both of them are getting a Twilight Council. Okay, so Tenotal going to be aggressive, and considering he's just been building Stalkers and he still only has 2 guys here in the gas, probably going to be going for Blink. Now the 3 and 3 probes for Zaz kind of point towards DTs, kind of, and he is saving quite a lot of money as well. So Warp Gate is finished for both of these guys. Proxy Pylon has been built. Oh! And Zaz actually did see... he did see the Twilight Council working. Oh my god. Tenotal, you smart motherfucker. You know he saw the blink and you cancel it and go for a Dark Shrine straight up. But Zaz is going for a Dark Shrine as well, and just a precaution, since he did see that Twilight Council, he's getting a Robo Facility straight up. Now, does Tenotal know about this? No, he doesn't. Oh, this can be really bad for Tenotal down along the road in the long run. Now, no doubt with this many units, Zaz will be able to defend for the time being. I'm not entirely sure if canceling that blink was that good of an idea for Tenotal right now, because that would have given him an edge. He's probably counting on the fact that Zaz is going to react to the supposed blink, and photon overcharge was used, so Tenotal has to wait for a little while before that wears off, before he attacks again. But will he be attacking, actually? And we have the first two DTs. Defensive DTs. And offensive DTs. Tenotal did see the shimmer. Is he going to react? He's getting a cannon. He probably deduced by this time that, you know, it can't be anything else. He has not seen any oracles. He did not see any. Oh, this is going to be just in time. The observer pops out and the DTs will go down. How many probe kills have they gotten? 0 actually. And Zaz probably using the minimap a little bit, and he misclicked. Now Tenotal trying to do as much damage as possible. Another photon overcharge goes down, even trying to chip away at the mothership core. Meanwhile, these two DTs have to go all the way around, but the cannon is already in place and the robotic facility has been put down. So neither of these players actually has gotten any kind of value out of his DT shrine. You know, what's the follow-up going to be? Are we going to see one of these players transition into Charge Lot Archon? Probably not going to be Zaz. He is getting Immortals out, so... Oh, wait a minute. Those DTs have made it into the base and have killed one probe and some other unit. And they're going after the cybernetic score. Will they get it? Oh, nice piece of micro. Zaz very attentive of his DTs. Moves out of the way, out of the range of the cannon. And the observer just now will be coming out. And that will give Zaz time to cause some more damage here. Nice cancel there on the cannon, saving some more minerals for Tenotal. But he will not save this pylon, and... well, that brings him very close to being supply block. Meanwhile, Zaz is taking his time to expand. I think that Nexus is actually a little bit misplaced. Probably one hex more to the right than it should have been. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me. And, okay, so the DTs have been taken care of, and Zaz is following up with a blink. So he will rely on his micro and heavy-duty damage-dealing immortals to overpower the enemy army. He is pushing. That way he can secure his expansion. He's got one observer back here in case any offensive DT warp-ins happen. The pylon that was here before, of course, has been taken care of. And okay, let's compare the army sizes. Well, Zaz's army is quite stronger. Nice reaction time from Tenotal on that photon overcharge. Zaz gets one pylon and he engages here. Time warp going down, preventing these units from retreating. They are surrounded by zealots. That is not good for those stalkers. I bet Tenotal is wishing he had not cancelled that blink at this time. That would have been very much so useful, but manages to push these units back. And I'm starting to wonder if Zaz maybe engaged a little bit sooner than he necessarily wanted to. I mean, the blink is not done yet. That attack could have gone in his favor way more if he had blink with this, but he doesn't. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh my God! Tenotal took a gamble, saying, "Well, maybe you don't have an observer with your army. Let me just." Is he going to get this immortal? He very well might get this immortal. The observer, will it be there in time? Oh my goodness! Gosu timing by Tenotal, pulling back at the last second. He's putting down another proxy pylon. And if we look at the resources lost tab, we see that Zaz is quite ahead in that regard still. He's got way larger of an army. He's trailing in drone supply by 5, and that is a huge deal in PvP, considering both of these guys have double Nexus already. So if neither of them miss probes, Tenotal is going to have a way stronger economy way quicker. He is also getting +1 attack. And Zaz saying, well, I might as well go all the way with the Twilight Console tech. And, well, Tenotal, he's neither getting blink nor charge. He's probably just going to rely on brute forcing his way. He does have Archons though. And Archons are a pretty beefy unit, not at all easy to bring down if it has support, because there are other units that might be dealing huge amounts of damage to you, such as Immortals, Stalkers, as Zealot Wall advancing on your position. And let us just compare the number of Zealots for a moment, and we see that Tenotal has 13 Zealots and Zaz has 6 of them. Just warped in additional 3 ones, and that is going to play hugely in favor of Tenotal, because the more Zealots you have when there are no Colossi out on the field, the better for you. Once your opponent loses his Zealot count, there is nothing to shield his more vulnerable units from being destroyed, such as Stalkers or Immortals. Immortals because they are slow, and Stalkers because they are just made of paper. So we have another proxy pylon here. And we have a DT getting 5 kills in the main base of Zaz. Let's look at the probe count as it is dropping 38 probes. The income is dropping as well, as he is forced to rally those probes down. Oh, he has lost quite a number of probes there. So if we look at the probe count, suddenly Tenotal even more ahead in the economy, and I think this will win him the game in the long run. He's also getting charge. And +1, well, +1 level 2 already. He's got +1 attacks, and look at this, the Zealots of Zaz just disappearing also quickly. Tenotal's got a lot of gateways to back this up. Time Warp going down, making those Zealots even more efficient as they're mowing down the Immortals and forcing the Stalkers to retreat. They do have Blink, however, so they can micro versus this very slow immobile army. There goes an aggressive Blink forward. But Zaz needs to retreat right now. Those Stalkers, you know, when you're up against an Archon and 2 Immortals, that's not good tidings for you. And, well, he has to figure out something to get back into this, because right now, even though he defended very well in the early and mid game, he is a little bit behind. If you look at the food counts, it's 106 versus 91. And, well, here he goes again. At this point, he's just trying to do chipping damage, I feel like, but with the charge kicking in, he won't be able to do anything any longer. And that's a very wise choice, warping in those Zealots, repositioning to get a little bit of a better surround, but there are 2 Archons here, and with the Zealots of Tenotal, they are going to make short work of the enemy Zealot line, and Tenotal, he's just pushing forward. He does have a proxy pylon here and here to reinforce this push. And what does Zaz have back home as his mirror line is being harassed by Zealots? Well, he's blinking again, trying to kill them as fast as possible. He knows this is coming, and he knows he needs as many units as possible. Does he actually have a Mothership core? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't, which means no photon overcharge. He lost it in the attack. And Tenotal in such a good position right now with +2 attack on those Archons. That's going to make the enemy Zealots melt before the might of the Protoss Armada. And even making more very good decision by Tenotal here, putting the Archons forward. There are DTs, but we do have an Observer here, just has to be careful not to let it get killed. Nice micro there, getting rid of all the DTs, and there we see the GG by Zaz. A very good game we saw right now. And my voice is dying, by the way. It's almost dead. Almost, but almost doesn't count. All Saints reference, everybody? So once again, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Kama Pillbox, welcome to the stream. I decided to only cast. I'm going to be doing 1 hour of casting every evening. If you guys like this, and would like me to continue this a little bit more, maybe if we get enough viewers, let's say right now we have 18 guys watching, which is totally awesome. Thank you very much. Again, I'm looking for criticism. I'm looking for feedback either on my casting or on the format of the show. Again, I have to reiterate, just in case you just tuned in, I'm going to be casting 100%. I'm going to be casting Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, probably Thursdays as well, but that might not always be the case. I'm not going to be doing Wednesdays because I have a regular cast for scvrush.com that day, but Monday, Tuesday, Friday, probably Thursday as well. I'll be doing 1 hour of your games every single evening. The more games you send, the better for me. If you have master level friends that would like to get their games casted, please let them know. Give them my Twitter, give them my email, send them to this stream or to the Reddit link if you have saved it. If not, I will repost the link into the chat. Yeah, if we, let's say we get double the viewers we have now, so if we start to approach like the 40 number, I might consider doing 2 hours instead of 1. But so far it's not really, you know, it's just a developing project. It is in its infant stages. I'm still trying to feel out how much people actually are interested in this. So okay, guys, please, if you could, I really appreciate your feedbacks, uh, but if you have any feedback, please email it to me, because if you post it in the Twitch chat, it gets lost. You know, there is no way to check what you have said, and I might forget. Actually, my head is really stupid and it forgets stuff all the time. So, you know, like I have to write stuff down into my smartphone, then I forget to check my smartphone. And then people are like, weren't you supposed to meet me yesterday? Or weren't you supposed to show up for work extra yesterday? I'm like, oops, sorry. Well, you're fired. This stuff happens to me all the time, so please, if you have any criticism or feedback on the format, on my casting, anything you want to say to me, please use my Twitter or my email. You can find the email address below the stream, and you can find the Twitter and Facebook addresses or links directly on the screen. You can see them. I'm BelleNOiRtv everywhere. And before we go to the last game, which will be a TVT on Daybreak, it is going to be Complexity QXC versus We Wanna Win Clan Matsur. At least I think he's from We Wanna Win Clan. Always be happy. Thank you very much. Thank you, dude. That's like so easy to do. Oh yeah. Going to be happy from now on. Yeah. I'm smoking a lot, and it makes me pretty chill. Okay, jokes aside, probably was a bad one too. Before we go to the last game, let me just remind you guys that we will have a fan tournament coming up next. We will be making an announcement regarding that this week. With, you know, all the rules, the sign-up process, and everything, and the date. The total prize pool is $100, and it is going to be given away among 16 players. 32 for first, 16 to second, 8 to third, and 4 apiece, fourth to 16th place. So if you want to play in that, if you want to have some fun, and if you want to know what it looks like, head on to my YouTube. That's youtube.com/BelleNOiRtv. You can find a playlist from BelleNOir Followers Tournament number 5. That's been a while ago, though. I have had other co-casters since. Actually, the last one we did was with Medals from ESET UK Masters. It was the BelleNOir Followers Tournament number 7. And we're going to be doing the Followers number 8 very shortly. So if you want to play in that, stay tuned for news. And without further ado, we are going into the last game. Once again, thank you very much for watching. This is going to be QXC versus Matsur at TVT. Okay, let me just check if the overlay switched. Yes, it has. Good. So, I think this is from the WCS qualifiers. I'm not entirely sure. If Matsur is watching, he can probably correct me on that or specify that a little bit more. In the top right, we do have the Purple Terran QXC. It's probably the real QXC, by the way. Maybe an imposter, maybe, but probably the real one. We cannot be too sure, but he played a very good game here, so I'm inclined to believe that he is the real QXC. And we have We Wanna Win Clan Matsur in the bottom as the green Terran spawning here on Daybreak. Now TVT has been a really crazy matchup as of late. If any of you guys have watched GSLs or any of the TVTs that have been going on recently, you might have noticed that there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of drops going on, a lot of Hellbat drops, to be more specific, all throughout the mid-game. You know, if both of these players are going Hellbat bio, you know, Hellbat for harassment and just the rest standard bio tank play, then you are probably going to see non-stop dropping and harassment all throughout the mid-game. Especially with the speed medevacs, you know, that's something that can be abusable and exploitable. Yeah, 140 workers killed. Oh my god, that game. I remember that game to this day. I think it was on Newkirk Precinct. That was totally crazy. Right, so QXC blocking the entrance. Very nice. Denying a scout for Matsur. Matsur opting to go for a more of an economic opening, so he built his supply depot as near to his command center as he could have, and both of these guys are getting gas. Matt being a little bit ahead in that regard. QXC just now starting mining it, so he'll be getting 2 Marines before he commits to any kind of tech, either a factory or a Reaper. And Matt, well, he's getting a Reaper first. He's not even bothering with a Marine. Just going to be getting a Reaper. Orbital command finishing for QXC here, and let's see where his gas goes. He'll probably be building a here we go, a reactor, and let's see what he will do with his next 100 gas. Matsur is going into a factory straight up after the Reaper. Now the Reaper, did it actually kill the SCV? Yes, it did kill the scouting SCV, so it is going to go ahead and scout the main base. Now QXC knows that the Reaper is out and is going into a command center. He's approaching that 100 gas mark really, really fast. And as the Reaper comes in... Oh, does Matsur click on it? He didn't. He has to know what type of building this is. I mean, it still could be a Rax, mind you. There are 2 Rax opening, beginning with a reactor to keep you safe, followed by a Rax with a tech lab, Thorzane style. Thorzane really, especially during the Wings of Liberty, preferred 2 Rax opening in TVT both and TVP. And well, QXC's command center was a lot sooner than Matt's. That's because Matt opted to go for an earlier gas, earlier factory, and then follow it up with a CC, whereas QXC's build order was a little bit different. He went for a command center first, due to that later gas, and then continued on with the factory. Now, both of these players probably will swap this out, and Matsur will be playing a little bit defensively here with Widow Mines. Let's see what QXC will opt to create. Yeah, he is going aggressive style. He's building Hellions, and even the factory is rallied straight across the map into the natural, so he wants to cause as much damage as possible. And Matt, well, he's going to have drop capability a lot sooner than QXC. QXC is trailing behind by 15 seconds on this, and with the first Widow Mines already popping out, he can do a Marine Widow Mine drop. Meanwhile, we see QXC moving across the map. Those Hellions will be catching up onto those Marines very, very quickly here. And so far, these Widow Mines are being used defensively. And this is something not a lot of Terrans do often enough, spreading out your Widow Mines. If you clump them up, you basically nullify their their effectiveness. And a very quick reaction there by QXE, seeing the one explosion onto that Hellion and immediately scanning, killing the second Widow Mine, and now with the Hellion and Marines he's able to do some damage, but he is at a numbers disadvantage. Nice micro by Matsur, pulling that Hellion back, saving it for later. That's actually crucially important at this point in time. Meanwhile, back home, QXE is getting the medevacs. All is just dandy for him. Matsur manages to drive the attack back, and well, let's see the worker counts exactly even, so all Matt has to do is land that once it morphs into an orbital command, and the game will be quite even. Even the supplies are quite even, and this is a really interesting thing. QXE has a Marine here to spot. I mean, I don't know if he left it there while he was attacking on purpose, or if it was a misclick, or, you know, somehow it gotten deselected. I have to assume it's for purpose. It's on purpose. He's going to be... Nice usage of that Marine. I mean, you could use it for two things. Either for something like this, or later on to spot if a third is going down. And, well, Matsur is going to chase this out. And we have a drop incoming into the main base of QXE. Two Hellions, how many kills will they get? SCVs are being pulled immediately, but Matsur not microing quickly enough, and that medevac will go down. Matsur knows this, so he's trying to do as much damage as possible, and now the worker kills are starting to rack up. Those SCVs are pretty damaged, but takes out 7 SCVs with those two Hellions. Pretty cost-efficient trade, I have to say. Getting, I mean, if he would have saved that medevac, that would have been obviously better. And interesting thing is that he probably skipped a couple of SCVs while he was doing this, because the SCV count is still kind of even, so... you know, as a result, the game is still even. Probably Matt needs to improve his SCV production a little bit more during harassment periods, because... You know, this could have gotten him a little lead that he could have stretched on later on in going into this game. So infrastructure being put down for Matt. QXE, well, he's still surprisingly only on 1 Rex, and he's playing really greedily, putting down the 3rd command center and then adding on the Rex while he's getting stim on the first one. Is the stim for Matsur done? No, he's just getting stim now. So up until now, basically, both of these players have been doing somewhat of a similar build, just with the exception of Matsur opening with a Reaper into Widow Mine and QXE opening with expansions into straight-up Hellions, skipping the Widow Mines altogether. But otherwise, apart from this little difference, they're pretty much doing the exact same builds. QXE getting the double engineering bay as well as Matt. So... You know, you can judge from this that they're both pretty competent Terran players. And a lot of infrastructure is going down right now by QXE. Let's see when those racks finish. I want to see the total number of racks on both sides. So we have Vikings patrolling this area for both players to ward against drops, saving the money, not building missile turrets, getting a reactor on the starport, of course, to be able to produce tons and tons of medevac. Matsur's 3rd base is delayed by quite a lot, but you know, the supply counts are still kind of even. Matsur actually pulling ahead of QXE in army supply a little bit, and we have another drop coming in. 1 Viking is not going to be enough, and we have 4 Hellions inbound. And how many SCV kills will these get? Well, Matsur does have Hellions of his own there to kind of take care of this. And I think I saw a medevac somewhere out here. Yeah, there we have 2 medevacs bypassing the Vikings, unloading their load inside QXE's main base. Now, this force has to do a lot of damage. They're going for the tech labs. I don't know if that's the wisest decisions. The SCVs are being pulled back, contributing to the damage, and Matsur has to load up and get the heck out of there. Let's see how much damage has been done in his main base. 7 workers killed, but he killed additional 6 workers. Oh, but these medevacs, they have boosted out, and the boost was on cooldown, and that enabled QXE to get rid of those with the 2 Vikings and Matt. How does he know Oh, excuse me as I hit the wrong button there. Does he actually know about the third? No, but he has to suspect it's down. It's just a question of for how long has it been there for him. So let's look at the number of production buildings. We have 3 racks for QXE, 5 racks for Matt. And, well, QXE has not been macroing the best. He's really lacking gas. He's taking that right now. Both players getting the armory, which, you know, pretty much means that they are going to be on 1-1 very, very shortly. Matt is just waiting for that 1-1 to finish before he attacks, I feel like. QXE decides to take the initiative to push the green Terran back, even gets 1 medevac out of this. By the way, nice Widow Mine placement by Matt. That way he will catch onto any forces moving through there. Both players adding infrastructure yet again. Matsur will have the higher number of barracks compared to QXE. And another drop trying to head out onto the map. It will go unscouted though. Oh, the Widow Mine did not burrow in time. We don't have the mechanical close upgrade yet. And these 2 dropships, I mean, they have to go in now, because those are the units Matt will be missing in a direct engagement. And QXE loading up, interestingly enough, loading up 2 medevacs, but moving them out of the way. Meanwhile, the drop at the third. 1 Widow Mine burrowed. The second one will not probably make it in time. No, it doesn't. It gets focused down really quickly, and this drop will get taken care of. Meanwhile, we have another drop attempted by QXE in the main of Matsur, but that has been warded away. And this drop is still doing a pretty good job, still is alive. The Widow Mine, though, has been killed, and QXE repels the rest of the forces. And Matsur is pushing QXE back through the center. Let's look at the units lost tab. The game is really quite even. Oh, that was a nice Widow Mine placement I was talking about. Nice hit there. And another drop. That's the 1 medevac. It came back for more, so another little good piece of harassment by QXE. They both have the same upgrades, both have the same build order progression. Matt does not have any tanks, though, with this push compared to QXE. Nice concave there for Matt, but QXE stimmed a little bit faster and does have 2 tanks here. That was the difference that was made in that fight, and now Matsur is a little bit on the back foot, and QXE is starting to swing ahead. He is starting to pull ahead in this game, slowly but surely. And now with this trade, this kind of like kicked him miles ahead of his opponent so far. Look at the macro kicking in right now. He's on 72 probes, I mean SCVs, compared to 63. The income is double compared to his opponent, and he's just able to mass army so much more quicker. And this is really what Matsur is, you know, lacking in. He's lacking in production structures. He's just now putting down 4 racks, but will it be enough? The tanks are sieging up, but QXE just has too much here. He's just way more infantry and way more tanks, and Matsur cannot hold that position. He has to retreat. Some barracks being just haphazardly placed down, not the best building placement I have seen. And, well, scans going down. Matsur sees what QXE has there. QXE is rallying even more units. Look at the tank counts. Oh my god. As long as those tanks are active, Matsur cannot hope to fight that army. He's got a lot of medevacs, though, so that can offset his small army size a little bit, but he needs to catch QXE off guard when the tanks are not sieged up, and even more and more reinforcements are streaming across the map. QXE starting 3-3 for his infantry. Matt only being on 2-2, cannot really afford the 3-3 upgrade, does not have enough of an income for that. And QXE still being ahead, even constructing additional command centers. The tanks are sieging up, going into an entrenched position, but having the numbers advantage. Very nice position for QXE, superior concave, and he's just shredding through the defensive lines of Matsur. And I think he will win by 2 tanks, maybe even 3 tanks. Yes, he does, and now this third base has to be abandoned. I wouldn't be surprised if Matt would just lift up and let this fly away. He's just trying to produce as many units as he can, but the supplies are telling the story. 181 versus 100. There's the GG. Matsur GG's out. really a little bit falling, a little bit worse on the macro side, falling a little bit behind his opponent there. Um, I feel like that was the main issue there, because honestly, if you look at that game, both players were really neck to neck. The majority of that game, a comparable amount of SCVs, at least until something like the 10-11 minute mark, even despite the harassment. Matsur actually defended the harassment more efficiently than QXC did, and did more damage to the purple Terran than he sustained. But then during that engagement, during that harassment, I feel like he was not entirely on top of producing his SCVs. So while yes, he did kill off 7 or 8 SCVs in the main base with the first drop, he skipped 7 SCVs, and QXC did not. So when Matsur came back with the medevacs, the harvester count was still even. And later on, as the fighting got thicker and thicker and more frequent, I feel like Matt was just kind of, he never got to the saturation point that QXC had. And of course, also QXC, remember, he played really greedily. He still only had 1 Rex, a factory, and a starport, and he took a 3rd base before building those additional 2 barracks. That is a huge deal, and Matt never scouted that. He did not scan the 3rd base location, and he just went for the production and then went into a 3rd base. So that allowed QXC to just sprint ahead in the economy and gave him the edge he needed later on in the game. But otherwise, you know, overall, a very, very nice game. And yeah. Tomorrow we'll be probably casting one of those, because this was a best of 3. And I think one of those games Matsur actually took off QXC. He actually won a map. I have forgotten which one it was, but I will be casting that tomorrow. So if you want to see that, tune in. I will also be selecting a couple of other games to accompany that one. I will try to pick more Zerg matchups, as many as I can. Maybe we will see a 1 ZVZ as well. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. In the meantime, keep sending me games. I hope you like my work. I hope you are not disappointed in me casting your play. At least you know the guys that. If there is anybody in the chat that has submitted their replays and is actually watching, I really hope I did not disappoint you. Trying to do the best work I can. And if you like it, tell your friends. That would be really awesome. Like, the more games, the better, because you know, the more games I get, the better games I can choose. Because chances of having nice number of very high quality games among a 50 number of games is much higher than, you know, having 30 games and trying to find 10 very good ones. So more replays, more fun. Where have I heard that? All right, we're gonna be wrapping this up. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, please do tune in again tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central European Summer Time. Again, we'll be casting 4 games. Again, I will be sending sending emails to the guys that submitted the game, so they can actually watch the cast. And for you archive viewers, if you missed the cast, you can go to my YouTube. That's BelleNOiRtv. I'll be uploading the VOD right now in its entirety, non-edited. So I hope YouTube will let me do that. If it doesn't, I'll probably have to find a free to download and use editing software that I can edit this with. And I think this should be it. Just going to remind you that if you wanna play in the fan-based $100 16-player tournament we are going to be doing very soon. All you have to do is follow my Twitter or Facebook not to miss any updates. We'll be making an announcement this week. Otherwise, if you don't have any questions, I shall be signing off and letting you guys go. Thank you very much for tuning in. Um, want to get some more story progression, Borderlands 2, or are you going to bed soon? Maybe I'll play a little bit. I don't know yet. I'm probably going to smoke. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Seems like there are no questions. So, once again, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been fun. Very grateful that we have had so many people watching. And I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, I'll be doing this every single day, or well, not every single day, but most days in the week. So you can come back time and time again. And if you miss any episodes, you can go to my YouTube for that. So once again, thank you for tuning in. My name is BelleNOir. You can always find me on Facebook or Twitter, BelleNOiRtv, or here on Twitch /BelleNOir. And my email is right there if you want to post any feedback. I'm really looking for criticism, feedback, either on the format of the show or my casting or whatever is on your heart. Just send it to me. All I'm asking is please be constructive and concise. And with that, I'm going to be signing off. So until next time, remember, stay safe, good luck, have fun, and remember to storm first and ask questions later.